Secret lore of the Forge explained Roblox.
Did you guys know the Forge actually has lore? Yes,
I don't know what lore means.
right, this game actually has a proper storyline, and this storyline correlates directly with the updates we're going to be getting in the future. And though the storyline isn't just Sensei Moro telling you guys to go and kill a bunch of enemies, there is actually way more depth. So in today's video, we're going to be learning about the entire storyline and maybe even a few hints to his future updates that are going to be coming out to the Forge of Roblox. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. As always, hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want to be a part of the OG 500,000 subscribers. Let's get straight into this video. So obviously you guys have probably talked to Sensei Moro and maybe read his questline. This is basically the tutorial guy who basically tells you guys, hey, go into this world and kill a bunch of enemies and do a bunch of forging. But there is so much more to this game than just that. So the first NPC I want to talk about in today's video is going to be none other than Captain Rowan. This guy right here. I mean, you've probably spent hours and hours trying to complete his quests, but have you ever tried to think about why he's giving you guys these quests? Not just that, but have you even thought about who this guy actually is? And have you thought about what this map he has on his desk is? Well, all of this is going to make sense to you guys by the end of this video, I guarantee it. Not just that, but I also have some insane leaks for the next update. So
let's find out, because I've never played Forge in my entire life. So let's see if I understand.
Before we try and understand who Captain Rowan is, we gotta go ahead and learn about the island itself. And who better to tell us about the island than Isaac? Yeah, this NPC that gives you guys one of the most annoying quests in the game actually gives you guys some insane lore about this game. So if we actually go ahead and speak to Isaac, he's gonna say, hey, don't mind me, I'm just trying to stay awake before this nightmare ends. Now you simply want to go ahead and ask him what is so bad with this town. I'm so tired, man. Do you want me to tell you the long story or the short story? And if you choose the long story, this guy is actually going to tell you the entire story of what happened to this island. A century ago, this land stood as one of the greatest civilizations in the world, ruled by our king and his beloved family. But as the king grew older, he feared death more than anything. In his desperation, he made a decision, offering our entire land to evil spirits in exchange for eternal life. At first, he was granted what he wanted, but immortality came with a price. He became one of them, an undead, a ruler of undeads. Now he commands those creatures that caused his own kingdom to be forgotten, and now we're the ones who stand between the village and his army of the dead. Day after day, night after night, I'm tired of it. If we kill him, maybe the curse will finally end. Maybe I'll get to feel warm sun on my face thinking about my next shift. That's our only hope. But if we fail, then everything we fight for would turn to ash. Now this entire interaction might leave more questions than answers, but at least now we know where the name for this island came from, the Forgotten Kingdom. But once again, who is this king? Why did he want to live forever? And what sort of deal did he actually make to be able to live forever? And what is this hint towards us killing him? Oh, I'm gonna answer each and every one of them, and trust me, it is gonna absolutely blow your mind. Because there is another NPC inside of the game that gives you guys even more lore about this game. And this NPC is going to be located right inside of the wizard's tower. No, it's not the wizard himself, but it's actually the wizard's assistant, Ada, or Ida. Not really sure how to pronounce the name, but let's go ahead and talk to Ida. So when you first speak to Ida, she says, hi, why do you smell like magic? Because of course, you can change races. And when you select the first option, oh, curious about magic? Alright, let me teach you a bit. Ida basically gives you guys an entire lore drop of what this game is. Alright. As a Spelton, I think I can show you some things. But first, you should know where my magic comes from. It's a weird story. It's connected to the Galexide Council. Strange stuff, really. They study the flow of Galexide and somehow my spells react to it. I never asked why, I just use it. Every time they run one of their experiments, my magic gets all sparkly or unstable. Kinda useful, kinda dangerous. Their experiments make my magic go wild sometimes. Anyways, long before our records, there weren't even islands. This stuff is only run by the highest members of the magical guild. So, there was only one piece of land, which all the races were living in harmony. The civilization was so advanced advanced that we were even mixing arcane with technology and such. Even the elves were helping humans. Now already there is a lot of questions. Galaxide Council mixing arcane with technology? The elves helping humans? What's up with that? Let's just continue. I'll answer all of your questions in just a second. So now you can ask her what went wrong. Ada says, I'm not going to give you the name because he can still hear us. He was bored of peace. He always tried to manipulate the races into fighting each other, but he was always stopped by the faction and the United Races Alliance. War was seen reasonless and everyone enjoyed peace. Then one day, Michel, don't know how to pronounce that, and Ada quickly corrects herself and says no, he had enough and decided to fight with what seemed enough to him. He promised to change and be a better person, then joined the faction, the same faction that was stopping him from destroying the world, by the way. He learned their techniques, spells, and studied their immortality. One day he disappeared without a trace. Nobody saw him or knew him, but then everything went out of control, like really out of control. He joined the faction only to learn the summoning technique. As I said,
Video idea changed. Let's see if I can watch the entire video without sleeping.
Immortal, and he was immortal. He had achieved it before leaving, but to summon the archdemon deep from the inferno, he managed to do it thanks to his immortal body, but he lost his body in the progress. But the price of his body was enough, so his soul never went away from the soil of this world, and that's why we can't even mention his name. From inferno, all kinds of demons rose, tearing the world apart. As the earth was scorching, all races assembled for the last time. Our world and the underworld had the war known as the Last Galaxide War. It was so harsh that the ground was torn apart and the mainland was splitting into thousands of islands. The reason it's called the Last Galaxide War is because all the races blamed the humans for what had happened, and so they swore if this war was unwinnable, they wouldn't trust humans again. Yeah, a lot of stuff just happened, but I think we just need to focus on the main stuff. Now, I'm not entirely sure if the person Ida is talking about and the person Isaac is talking about are the same people. I mean, sure, the king wanted to be immortal, but I believe the king was only the king of the Forgotten Kingdom. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the king, according to Isaac at least, still has a body and you can still defeat him. But according to Ida, whoever this immortal being is does not have a body and is actually part of the island. So yeah, I think this immortal being that Ida is talking about made the king immortal, and now the king is a part of the immortal being's undead army. And now you might be wondering, this king, where is he? So you guys know about this gate inside of the volcano area, right? For weeks we've wondered why this was added into the game, because the developers haven't really given us lots to think about here. I mean, why is this gate here and what purpose does it serve? Well, until today, because today we just got a brand new leak, and this leak shows us a brand new video of possibly what is behind that very gate. And as you guys can see, it seems like there's a new type of ore, there's some sort of glowing thing in the background, and some brand new crystals that maybe you can mine. Not just that, but this video was also linked with a code. A few people smarter than me actually decoded what this code is, and they actually put it into a base 64 format. And as you guys can see, this code decodes into some sort of Morse code. When you translate the Morse code into English, it outputs heart. So my guess is this right here, this glowing red thing, is possibly the heart of the immortal being that has been hinted to us by Ida, or maybe at least the heart of the island or something. This is definitely a heart. I just don't know what it's a heart for. Not just that, but we got a second code right here. And once again, people who are way smarter than me decoded this too. Shout out to this person. They say, from what I've seen, the string, which the code we got earlier, is reverse base 64 encoding. Reversing it and decoding it gives us this word, which when translated from Icelandic to English gives us Ice Warden or Guardian of Ice. Now this should come as no news to you guys, but the next The Forge update is literally based on a ice island. Not just that, but we've also gotten a few looks at a boss that suspiciously looks like a king, don't get me wrong, and another boss looking yeti creature that once again suspiciously looks like a ice guardian. There's just not enough pieces to add together to figure out what the lore behind the Forge actually is, but so far this is the majority of it. This is everything we know, and clearly whatever update we're going to be getting next is going to be based right here on Island 2.